Hello everyone, it's Laura Jane. Thank you for joining me today for the Exciting Escapades video hop with Altenew. The full video hop list is in the description box below. Make sure to stop by each designer's channel for lovely crafty inspiration. Leave comments along the way for chances to win lots of prizes. Our hop today highlights new products released on June 4th, 2021. I'm so excited to share my card with you today. You know, everybody loves a hot air balloon. I knew when I first saw this Up and Away bundle that I just had to have it. This features 2 hot air balloons, a very large one and then a smaller one, and several sentiments written in 2 different fonts. This is definitely a unique set. I'm going to be using the Simple Coloring Stencil set, which has 5 different stencils, but for today's project I'm only using this one smaller hot air balloon. I will be also using the Cloud Scene stencil, which is something I don't use very often, but I really should use it more because of just the lovely soft billowing clouds. And the ink collections I'll be using today are Lapis Lazuli, Enchanted Garden, and shades of purple. And the cardstock is just 110-pound white cardstock. To begin the project, I am adding just some non-static powder, which is cornstarch, giving that a good brush over on the cardstock. And I'm using the original card that I've made in order to place the outline stamp of the smaller hot air balloon. Then I'm going to be inking up that image with the embossing ink from Altenew. Give a good press. And next we'll be using the Antique Gold Crisp Embossing Powder. Make sure that has some good coverage. Give it a good flick to get the extra off there. Brushing off a few stray bits of powder. And then heating it up with the heat tool. Okay, now I'm taking that stencil. I'm just lining up with the embossed lines and then using some post-it notes as my mask just to cover up the extra spaces so that I keep the outside area nice and clean. And here I'm using the Eastern Sky as the first color of blue, along with the smaller ink blending tool. That looks so pretty. Then moving on to the next set. Just repeating that process, this time using the hydrangea and the larger ink blending tool. I like both sizes of the ink blending tools. I don't have a blending tool for each of the colors, so I kind of go back and forth from the small to the large according to which color I've chosen. This next blue is ultramarine. The simple coloring stencils are definitely a must-have for easy, quick inking of the stamp sets. I'm just going through the 4 sets of the stencil and inking up each part with the different colors. I just had to have this Up and Away bundle. Hot air balloons are just a whole bunch of happy, I think. And one of my children is actually on a ground crew for a couple that owns a balloon. His job is to, first of all, help set up the balloon, inflate it, follow the balloon as it goes through the air, and help catch it when it comes down. you never know where the wind's going to take them. And somebody needs to pick them up, but most of all, they actually need to be caught and slowed down once they come down to the ground. Just a little bit of fun trivia there. I decided that the purple was just a little too light and went back and re-inked one of those purples with the Midnight Violet. I grabbed some artist marker to color in that lower section of the balloon. That is not on the stencil, but it's super easy just to quickly color in with the markers. And then I thought I would add just a couple of darker purple stripes on a few more of those, the balloon gussets there. I don't know if gusset is the right term, but anyway, I thought that added a little bit more depth to it. I'm coloring the basket quickly with the markers. There is a stencil for it, but I don't have an ink blending tool for that color, the browns, so I thought, oh, I'm just grabbing my marker and get that done. Here I've used the Up and Away die set to cut a mask for the balloon. Now I'm using the Altenew masking paper, and the paper itself has a really pretty floral design on one side and then plain white. And I'm always cutting it on the wrong way because I have to remind myself that you cut on the white side, not the pretty side. I'm always wanting the pretty side, and then my masks are backwards. So remember, the white side, the clear white paper, is face up when cutting. So lessons learned. Next, I've grabbed that cloud scene stencil and the Eastern Sky crisp ink and quickly inked up some fluffy clouds, which it just lifts that balloon right up into the air, gives it some motion. I think that's so pretty. Now I'm taking my original card again and placing the sentiment in it, and pick up that sentiment stamp. And I'm inking this sentiment with the Obsidian black ink. Perfect ink coverage the very first time. And this is the Lapis Lazuli Slim Washi Tape set that was newly released on the 4th of June. And I'm using 2 of the lighter shades of the set just to kind of add a color swipe across the bottom there underneath the sentiment. Just slightly overlapping those and using the grid on my stamp mat to make sure it goes pretty straight across. Not one to be exact always, and this is the Altenew bone folder, which I like to rub across the washi tape, kind of burnish that onto the card front, make sure it sticks really well. Added some sequins with some glue, and this is the instant dimensional tape. And I'm putting that tape on the back of the couple that I also had embossed in the antique gold, and used the die set to cut that couple out. Peel the top off. And then placed the couple right there. Now I realize that my sequin was going to get covered up and I hate to waste it, so I pulled that sequin off, re-glued it into place, just kind of tucked it under there to add a little sparkle. And then the card is finished. It's somewhat similar. I kind of mixed up the ink colors, so I have a different looking balloon. Definitely a fun card to make. Now, for the original release, I had inked up and cut out the large balloon here. My son's like, "Mom, aren't you going to make a card using the big balloon?" I'm like, well, what could I do? So I could tuck it in under that couple, cut off the edges, and that's another version. I think that looks really cool too. That adds a lot of color to it. It's just really fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching the card come together. Remember to craft your life with Altenew. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.